Hi, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I have intimate knowledge of what breast cancer is all about. But the scariest time for me was trying to figure out how to tell others, especially loved ones, that I had cancer. And I'm going to tell you now how I did that. Steve. One of my grandsons used to text me at all hours of the night, very silly, funny texts, mostly with the time on it, or hey G, what's up, that kind of thing. On this one particular night, though, as I reclined back on the bed, I put my arms across my chest and I felt this lump. And I thought, well, I don't remember feeling that before. Turned out it was about the size of a marble. So I thought, you know what, this doesn't feel like the other cysts I used to have. I'm going to see a doctor. And I did. When I went to see the doctor, I had some tests done, and I didn't know, obviously, if I had breast cancer or not, but I had a 2-week trip planned to visit my son, who had been in Iraq 4 times, and I was not going to skip that visit with him because I rarely saw him. So I went, and when I got back, I got the results. On September 21st, 2009, my oncologist called me and said, I have some news and it's not good. And I froze. I couldn't say anything for the longest time, and she finally said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm just trying to absorb what you just said. And of course I was thinking ahead to, oh my God, how do I tell my mom and my sisters? How do I tell my kids? How do I tell my grandkids? How will this happen? And that's what we're going to discuss here today, how I did that. So as I'm visiting my son, I'm thinking to myself, I can't not tell him, but I don't want to tell him over the phone either. So I thought, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just mention it and sound very positive and upbeat if I do that. But then it was, well, if I tell him, then I have to tell his sisters. So it took a long time for me to come to the point where I thought, okay, I'm going to be upbeat about this. I'm just going to say, well, you know what? If it is cancer, I can handle it. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. And I told him, and I pretended like I didn't think that it was cancer. Actually, in the back of my mind, I did know that it was cancer. And I just felt that it was cancer. No proof, obviously. I just had a feeling. So, of course, when I told him, I had to tell his sisters. And I told them not to tell anybody else. I didn't want my grandkids to know. I didn't want my mom to know. I didn't want my sisters to know. I wanted to wait until I found out for sure that I had it. So I got home. That was when I got the phone call from the doctor on September 21st. And I immediately got a hold of everybody, my sister, or not my sisters, my kids and and I told them about what happened. When it came time to telling my mom and dad and my sisters, I waited until we were all together. We were in a restaurant, and I waited till the very end of the meal because I didn't want to destroy the ambience, of this setting. And that's when I told them. And I just blurted it out. I have breast cancer. What happened in that visit between the time I got home, between the time I went to see my son and the time I got back, was that that lump had grown from the size of a marble to 4 centimeters wide. And it was obviously breast cancer. I didn't even ask about what stage it was in, but I found out later it was stage 2. And breast cancer has 5 stages, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was in stage 2. Apparently this problem about telling people is pretty common. When I was receiving radiation, a woman in the room with me was telling me that her mother had cancer. And she was her caretaker, and she wanted to ask my advice about whether or not she should tell anybody else. She hadn't even told her mother that she had cancer. And my only advice to her was, tell her, what you think she can handle. Tell your family what you think they can handle, and just be as honest as you can be. When it came to my grandchildren, I tried to be upbeat about it. I said, how do you think I'm going to look bald? Because my oncologist told me, you will be bald. She said, I'm a straight shooter. I'm just telling you like it is. You're going to be bald. So that's how I broached the subject to my grandkids. And several of them got to see me bald. A couple of them even asked to see what I looked like bald, because I was always wearing scarves and wasn't particularly fond of the wigs. They itched, So that's how I did that. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to be discussing things like, can you rely on mammograms to detect breast cancer? Should you get a lumpectomy or a mastectomy? And effects that you might not know about getting breast cancer. So if you want to see those videos, please ring the bell so you can get notifications about these upcoming videos. Also, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate you coming to visit. Thank you.